Getting back to the serious stuff. Folks, listen, with regards to appointments, drop my name out of this stuff. We got to talk about the serious stuff, like Kash Patel over at FBI. There are deep state people freaking out right now because they're realizing with Ratcliffe in there and potentially Kash Patel at the FBI, that all of the stuff you heard about, but we could not confirm because of shitty IG investigations and Bob Mueller not doing his homework about the spying on Donald Trump. I mean, you know, Scamapedia, Wikipedia, if you put Spygate in Wikipedia, hilariously, this is why I tell people, you mention Wikipedia, I hang up on you immediately because you're not a serious person. Wikipedia still calls it a conspiracy theory. The name of the spy was Azra Turk. You can look it up, folks. This is how dumb. By the way, that was just one spy. There were others too. You know who I'm talking about. They're all over my books. We know the names of the spies. They were spying on the Trump orbit. That's a fact. Kash is going to go in there, and Kash knows where the bodies are buried, and he's got shovels, man. He's ready to rock and roll. That's why they're so terrified. Kash was on Maria Bartiromo's show this weekend. We need this guy at FBI. We don't get him at FBI. You're going to get another person just pouring dirt on it. We're never going to find this stuff out. Watch this. You'll see why they're afraid.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the public has also lost trust in a number of these agencies. Kash, how do you believe Americans will regain trust in our most important law enforcement agencies?
One thing. Exposure of corruption. Put out the documents, put out the evidence. We only have gotten halfway down the Russiagate hole. The people need to know that their FBI is restored by knowing full well what they did to unlawfully surveil them. The people need to know that there has been a de-weaponization, a defanging of the Department of Justice, and their houses of worship will no longer be raided. But they need to be shown the documents that said this was the reasoning they weaponized justice. And that, in my opinion, is how Congress can most importantly secure the trust or resecure the trust of these agencies and departments. President Trump is taking a huge first step with his monumental victory. Now it's up to Congress and the Senate to work with his leaders at DOJ and FBI to put out those documents. And I think DOJ goes a long way in that. But we're going to need cabinet secretaries who say, we don't fear the corruption that preceded us. It will make us powerful if we expose it to the American public.
Folks, nobody else is talking like this who is up for FBI director. This is a critical spot. Wray is out. He's done. Christopher Wray is going to get fired or resign. There is no way he stays on. You have got to put the squeeze. I can't emphasize this enough. You have got to put the squeeze to deep state people. People are policy, man. If you have people at the top who don't directly say at the FBI, I want to see the files on Spygate, on what we did with Donald Trump. I want everybody involved in my office. You are never going to get to the proverbial bottom of it. Oh, I hate that expression. You are not. No, everyone else is just going to pretend it didn't happen. Here, can I give you a quick example of what I mean? In case you think like this is all BS and I'm making this up. Things happen at agencies if the director and the top doesn't pay attention all the time, and they'll keep going forever. Spying, unconstitutional activities. When I was a young agent with the Secret Service, we used to have this thing called protest zones. You go to a site. It's a good, quick story, but it matters. You would go do a site for the president. They'd say, where's the protest zone where people can protest? Folks, if some of you in the chat see where I'm going with this, what I'm talking about is completely unconstitutional. Dan, you guys did unconstitutional stuff. No one said anything. They did it for probably 30 years. And then what happened? Eventually, some really smart citizen was like, wait, so I'm a protester at a site where the president's at. And anyone can walk down that side of the street. Anyone. It's not a secure area, but I have to stay in the protest zone. I'm being treated differently because of my speech. It was the easiest slam dunk First Amendment case ever. The Secret Service instantly puts out a memo. There will be no more protest zones, has supervisors ensure that the First Amendment's respected. And when you ask people why they did it, the answer you got was because that was the way we always did it. People are policy. If you don't get a guy in there who's a constitutionalist, who's the director who goes, hey, wait, we're not allowed to do that. People act like the government is full of these, super geniuses, not you, but liberals and stuff, and they're going to figure this stuff out. You need a guy to go in there with a hammer and start breaking stuff, and Kash is the guy. All right, get